My friends, today we are going to explore some ancient, obscure tricks and glitches in GoldenEye 007. I woke up the other day and my longtime pal PerfectAce was telling me that he was browsing the old Detstar GoldenEye page, particularly the tricks and glitches part of the old website. Now, this is an amazing old website, and Detstar has been an OG gaming hacker and memory editor, really finding some remarkable things over the years. Especially remarkable when you think that he found a lot of this stuff, 25 years ago or more. So here's an archived version of his website from the year 2002, one of the earliest archives we have of the site. And I'm going to go down the list and play some funny GoldenEye tricks and glitches as listed on the website all those years ago. Just imagine you're hanging out with Ace and I, perhaps at a comfy sleepover with some Pizza Hut and some Mountain Dew back in the day, and let's get into it.
Here we go!
The first trick we're going to look at today is called Unarmed Guard. Now this one is crazy. Detstar writes, turn on infinite ammo, install the covert modem, but keep planting more and more modems until you can't plant any more. Then shoot the lock off the fence and head back to the guardhouse and hit the alarm. Take off, running down the dam, and stop at the first tower. Wait a bit after the alarm stops, and then return to the guardhouse. There will be 2 extra guards there. One is unarmed with no weapon. Now this sounds truly remarkable. Infinite ammo, invincible. Let's go to damn Double Agent and take a look. To find something like this years ago is really quite crazy. And if memory serves right, I do believe that packing the sorts of covert modems or mines or any kind of throwable object on top of each other does have strange effects, so let's go and find out. Now I'm going to leave a lot of the guards alive. I have invincibility on. I think if I shoot this guy, he will no longer seek the alarm. So we don't want that alarm going off yet as per the instructions. Let's pause here for the covert modem, and let's just start throwing the modem as much as we can, stacking them in a strange, unusual, labyrinthian, serpentine sort of feel. I can feel the game getting laggy as I throw the modems, and it looks like it's done. It looks like I can no longer throw any more modem. So there is the sort of stack of modems. Guards are looking to fight me. No big deal. So now we have to go here, and it says shoot off the lock first. Now go back and sound the alarm, and then run away. Okay. Let's do that. All the guards are coming out. Let's run down the dam for a bit. Let's just go all the way to the end for good measure and then come on back. Side note, I love this. The stairs are not exactly in the middle of the off-ramp. That took me literally almost 30 years to realize. Truly remarkable, in fact. Another side note, this is one of my favorite liminal spaces in the strange game of GoldenEye 007. What an unusual area blocked off. And no, a lot of people think this connects to an area on runway. Totally not. It's way too high. You jump down the gate, enter the facility, and the runway's at the bottom down there. So there's no possible way that door connects to the one on runway by the tank. Unless, of course, it goes through the mountain and curves all the way around. Maybe someone could assemble such remarkable geometry someday. That would be pretty cool. Like Mario 64 has a, what do you call it? Pauseless or restless 120 star where you just keep going. There's no cutscene after each star. Imagine that in GoldenEye. It'd be pretty cool if someone ever got to that one day. Let's find out, baby. Is there an unarmed guard? Wow. Unbelievably, here is the unarmed guard, and he's not even noticing me. This is odd. Oh, here he goes, starts running around. How did Detstar figure this out in the early 2000s or late 90s. It's actually unbelievable. Yet, through this series of unusual glitches, this guard has no weapon. And it doesn't look that strange because we're kind of used to seeing NPCs in this game without weapons, scientists and civilians, and even some of the main characters at times. But hostages, to see a guard run around like this is certainly odd and unsettling. Just look at all he knows how to do is sidestep and kind of move around while others are firing at me. It's truly amazing that this was found years ago. What a strange guy. And he has some body armor. I think I'll just leave him at that. I kind of respect how this guard exists. There must be some memory thing going on, with so many modems causing some issue with the game's memory in such a way that, when new guards spawn in, it just can't process the game enough to give him a weapon, which is so odd. And I would love if anyone could ever figure out exactly why this happens. But there you go. The Detstar Unarmed Guard from decades ago is true. Okay, the next one I want to try is called Crazy Ourumov on Facility. After you talk to Trevelyan, Ourumov holds him at gunpoint. Wait for him to start the countdown, then shoot Trevelyan. When his countdown ends, Ourumov will point down, turn, and shoot the wall. I'm loath to shoot Trevelyan. Feels bad, man, but, through my career of speedrunning the game, Trevelyan has certainly passed away numerous times when detonating the tanks a little bit too early. So for the sake of this historical dig and the science of the game, we'll do it. Alright, so here we go. No fuss, we won't even plant the mines yet. We'll just sort of clear out some guards and wait for Ourumov. There's a number of other strange Ourumov things you can do. I believe you can actually cause Ourumov to pass away by shooting him enough times, but it works best with a golden gun, and you need a lot of KF7 headshots. But many such cases of people who don't know. I love the quote, half of everything's luck and the other half fate. Such a great quote from the James Bond games. And here's Ourumov, so let's see what happens. Trev's gonna come over and surrender, and I guess we're gonna cause something to make Ourumov go crazy. So Trev walks over. Finish the job, James. Look at that animation. Rare animation. 10 seconds. And it's a lot more than 10, I think. 9, 8, 7. Let's do it 3 for good measure. 6, 5, 4, 3. Boom. Okay, let's see. Ourumov is... Okay, shoots Trev. Oh, no, then he shoots me. This one did not seem to work. Alas. Alas, my friends. Let's try once more for good measure, why don't we? Half of everything is luck. And the other half... fate. Oh, I guess because I shot at Ourumov there, he just immediately shot Trev and ran off. Wow. Okay, that was odd. I guess let's give it one more go, and I think what I'm going to do this time is shoot kind of earlier with the countdown, right as he starts, at 9 seconds, and see if that does anything. Okay, no shooting at Ourumov. Just totally chilling here and waiting for the scene to unfold. Are they stuck? I think everyone got stuck. Oh my god. I mean, what? Is there something more interesting I can do? Like, this is ridiculous. Well, I suspect Ourumov will just get angry because I damaged him, but let's see what happens. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm going to shoot Trev at like 9. Or even there. Let's see. Oh, let's see. 9. Will it work? Oh my god, it worked. Crazy Ourumov, as written by Detstar more than 20 years ago, indeed worked. Ourumov went nuts and shot the wall. My friends, there you go. And I mean, look, we should even be able to complete the mission still, believe it or not, which is quite amazing. You know, yes, we had cheats on invincibility, but it would have worked regardless, and we completed the mission even with the crazy Ourumov and shooting Trevelyan. Truly remarkable. Alright, this next one is just ridiculous and is the kind of thing that, like, I can imagine myself doing 20 years ago as a teenager and just having a laugh about for no reason. Detstar calls it red books. If you go to the left of the satellite tower, you'll find a fence with 2 cabins. The cabin on the left with the safe has a box in the corner. Destroy the box and a dozen red books will come out. Also on the desk there's a general's hat and a lamp, and so on and so forth. So I put on turbo mode for this. Let's just go blow up this box with books. It's silly and pointless, but it'll only take a second. It's in one of these 2 cabins right here. So we have the safe. We can grab the bunker plans, and this, there's Ourumov's hat, for example. There's 1 red book. And let's just... like, why are there 4, 9, 10, 11, you know, roughly a dozen red books in a box that blows up, frankly? And thankfully, the books did not catch fire. That'd be a whole other thing. Just, what a strange Easter egg. You know, just imagine the guy at Rare years ago who said, you know what I'll do today? I'm going to program a bunch of these red books into this box. Like, only for some guy on YouTube to look at this 30 years later and have a laugh about it and share it with a few of his friends. And hey, if that's not what video gaming is all about, that's what it should be about. If only we could go back, my friends. I mean, here's another silly Detstar one where he says you can go in this alarm. Might be a bit tricky with turbo mode on, but... or in the camera, rather. So, like, we're just in the camera. We're not really inside it, just a matter of, you know, sort of being inside it. And it blows with 1 shot, 1 lens shot, so there we go. Allegedly, these are supposed to be gas cans. I always thought they were fans, but you can sort of see other gas cans and they blow up. Here's a fun fact. The term jerry can is actually sort of a epithet. It's short for German, because Germans were the first ones to have those sorts of gas cans. They developed them. And so jerry is short for German. And so, you know, is this a insensitive term that needs to be changed for modern world? Well, I don't know. I guess we'll let others decide on that one. But there you go. There's the etymology of jerry can if you didn't know. Alright, this one is extremely silly. It's called magical executions. Turn on enemy rockets, and instead of the hostages being executed, they will just fall to the floor. Now I know this to be true, but let's just give it a look because I haven't looked at it in a long time. Oh, this might actually be harder to do than anticipated. Well, let's try to find a hostage where this is more easy to pull off. I think I know just the one. Alright, this should be a pretty clear one. Let's see what happens. Well, there you go. If that's not a magical execution, I don't know what is. Once again, it knows that to some extent that it doesn't want the guys shooting rockets in close corners, but like, they will, you know, in due time. We see how he's sort of not launching it, but like now he will, and it either sometimes passes through or sometimes it'll hit something and explode, and he will pass away. See if I get just far enough away, it should work. Well, maybe not. Shooting blanks, baby. This next one, also on Frigate, is incredibly silly. It's called Holding the Air Hostage. Turn on invisibility and shoot a hostage. The guard should still be pointing his gun, but the hostage is gone. Now this is very easy to do. Let's just give it a go. Well, it didn't quite work. The guard, I guess, saw me and decided to run around. I wonder if it was the shot that caused him alarm. If I slap a hostage, let's see if it works better. So he points at the fading out. There we go. Now he is indeed holding the air hostage. Wow. That could almost be the thumbnail. Maybe it will be, maybe not. Maybe the Unarmed Guard will be, but isn't that a thing of beauty? Thanks, Detstar, for finding this years and years ago. The ancient wisdom of holding the air hostage. Alright, let's try one more today called One Mine, Two Explosions. Quite prophetic nomenclature from Detstar back in the day. You know, this website predates other things named similarly. But anyways, it says, when you go to disable the Spetsnaz aircraft, plant the mine and press A and B. The mine explodes, and then explodes again, because you shouldn't have been able to detonate it. Well, let's find out what happens. You know, I'm completing the level the old-fashioned way, as some would say. You know, meet the speedrunner who still completes Surface 2 Secret Agent the old-fashioned way. There you go. Okay, so here we are. Let's chuck the mine. Go back. Press detonate. It explodes before the countdown ends. But then it's going to naturally program to explode when the countdown ends. So one mine, two explosions. Isn't that just beyond incredibly silly and trite? The Hound MI4 has been destroyed. And now destroyed objects, you know, you can kind of shoot them more and more. And voila, my friends. What an unbelievably trite exercise. But it's true, and I know that one works. And even Detstar also does have the tinted guard. For some reason, if they stand on the golden texture, they too will turn a shade of gold. Let's see if we can... There we go. Quite clear. Quite very clear. It's so weird why that happens. They just interpret, for some reason, like chameleons. They take on the color of the texture below. And that is just... What a way to end it, baby. So hey, there was a look at some of Detstar's remarkable old glitches and tricks. Some real classics as far as I'm concerned. I hope you enjoyed and could imagine what it would be like to play GoldenEye with me on a sleepover 20 or 25 years ago with this ancient arcane knowledge. Thanks for watching, my friends. If you enjoyed, I will do this again with other levels that we didn't look at today. So Thanks again for watching. Thanks for the Patreons for supporting on Patreon. Stay true, my friends, and I will see you in the next stream, video, or fireside.